All right, I have a question for you. Um, Sometimes I'll have buyers that are working with other lenders, and I will recommend that they talk to you and go through the process and get pre-approved just to see what the rates are, see, just because we know you're going to get us to a closing table. At what point in the process I know that there's not really a set point of when a buyer is locked to their lender, but at what point in the process are they pretty much locked and committed to their lender? In other words, can they come and have you do these things for them, but still have a little bit of flexibility? How does that work?
Yeah, so there's really no agreement, right? The
Yeah.
lock-in, there is a lock-in agreement when they lock the rate, but it doesn't lock them into working with us.
Mhm.
However, the time wise, how if they're gonna start shopping and shop until the last moment, they need to think of, is this lender going to be able to settle them on time?
Right.
And also when the contract is presented, there is the
Mhm.
lender's letter in there. So and that's more question to you, I guess, right, as a
Yeah.
realtors, when something like this happens, when they go with different lender, uh, what are the requirements for the contract, how soon they have to identify the lender, and then they have to notify the seller, and seller might or might not agree for them to switch to another lender, especially if they're so far into
Yeah.
the transaction.
Yeah.
And things like, if let's say they were working with me and I did the appraisal, I did everything, and a week before settlement they decide to go with another lender, we have to it is a process of moving the appraisal to another lender,
Mhm.
if that other lender allows something like that.
Yeah.
Not
Right.
every
Yeah.
lender would allow that. um are they going to be able to meet all those deadlines? And we all, as lenders, we also are bounded by regulations on how soon or how late we have to disclose documentations before they can go to settlement.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So all that needs to be considered. And even though there's really no um, obligations to go with this particular lender, there's no like a buyer's broker
Yeah.
agreement kind of
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
but those things need to be taken in consideration when they're switching lenders.
Well, go
I
ahead.
agree. So on from our perspective, number one, I think that you guys should have representation at least
Yeah.
once the loan disclosure goes out, and they're under contract, loan disclosure's out. There should be something, because when you're representing our buyers, a lot of times, because you and Prosperity, you guys can move so quickly that a lot of times it's that gets our contract accepted, and also the fact that it's you and how communicative you are that gets that contract accepted. And I know when we're representing sellers, if we're convincing our seller, yes, take this one because we know Tatiana, we know we're going to get to settlement, and then they want to switch, it's like, this was a huge thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes the lender can be a huge, huge win for the contract.
And
But
go ahead.
also the question is, why do they want to switch?
Right.
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 So that's
Yeah.
an important question. So let's say the lender dropped the ball. I'm not talking about me. They
Right.
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
so
The reason they came to you.
Yeah.
right, that's the situation when they come to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what the question is, why do you want to switch? Is it because you cannot stand the lender, they're making your life miserable, or it's because you found someone who is promising you better interest rate?
Yeah.
Right.
So when in most cases that's the case, right?
Yeah.
Then but they can't, when they live in me they find maybe rates drop, and when we lock the rate, you protect the rate basically from any fluctuations up or down, right?
Mhm.
So when you start 3 weeks later, you start shopping for the rate, you of course comparing apples and oranges,
Mhm.
but just give the lender a chance to, if not match, but get closer
Mhm.
to this new
Yeah.
rate quote, right? So and again, the rate is protected from going up or going down. There might be some way to lower the current rate within that lock. Doesn't happen all the time, but just give the lender a chance
Yeah.
to match it, and just think of how much work was input into this, and it's not only one person that was working. It's a processing, underwriting, if it's late in the game, the even closing department, the management, there's so many people involved, and getting the credit report costs money, the pulling data and information on your income and assets, making it all streamlined and automated for you, so you don't have to provide it. That actually on the back end costs a lot of money for the lender. So I'm not saying that just because of that stay with them, but just take it in consideration, and just give them a chance to match or get somewhat close to other.
And on that topic, so I am a shopper. Like, I love nice things, but I like getting a deal, right? Like, I get so excited when I get a deal on something amazing. And it's not that, say I go out and I find this lamp, right? And it's, man, I found it for $250 and I'm going to buy it because I don't want to lose it. But then I go out and I will keep shopping even though I have the lamp. I was willing to pay $250 for it. I have it. I'm still going to keep my eye out and shop for that same lamp cheaper because of that need to have a deal, right? So there are a lot of people out there like that. And to your point, let's say that they're however long into the process, they're under contract, you've locked the rate, I'm using you as the lender, and they find someone else who says, oh, we can get you a better rate. Well, that's great. We've talked about this, how they can say that all day long, and it's not until they get the actual loan disclosure, right? And that's what they then have to take to you to compare apples to apples so that you can show, okay, they're charging you discount points. Is it really a lower rate, So I might find the same lamp for $225 and I'm like, woo, I'm going to return this one and go get it. But I found it on Facebook Marketplace. It's used and I have to drive 2.5 hours out to get it. Then I'm kind of like, okay, it doesn't work out, so there is that point to be made.
Yeah.
Or you buy that lamp, you return the first one, and then when you turn the new one on, it's not working.
Exactly. That's right. That's right.
I've done that.
Yeah. Well, and the reason I asked the question was because we'll have people that they, let's say we're getting close to putting an offer in, we're pre-contract, and I'll say, hey, just talk to Tatiana just to see. And they'll say, well, are we committed to her if she gives us a pre-approval? Are we committed to her if she gets us a POFA? Are we committed to this? And I explained to them that really your commitment, in my opinion, is dependent on exactly what you said, the time frame. If you're offering a 14-day close and they find another lender with a better rate, but it's going to take them 35 days to close, they can't do any switching because they're
then
stuck.
You're committed, right? Based on the choices.
You're based on the choices, based on the contract, and realistically, even if those things are all equal, once that appraisal is ordered, that's pretty much when you're committed. What I'll tell buyers, which is usually day 1 or 2 after you get out of the contract. Yeah. So the whole thing about going all the way down and being 3 weeks into the settlement, if you have a buyer that does that, that's never a good situation. So I don't want anybody watching this to think that you can be 3 weeks into a conversation and just because you can do it, that it's a smart.
It doesn't logistically work out for your contract. It does not work out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make that clear.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
thank you so much for asking these questions. It's great.
Yeah. All right. Okay. You guys have anything else?
No. Do you have anything?
That's it. Nothing else. Okay. Enjoy. Nice weekend. The weather is going to be beautiful.
I know. I'm excited about that.
Yeah. The open houses all weekend. All right, we'll see you next week.
Okay. Bye.